Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.
Hey everybody, David here. So a couple things I wanted to talk on this video. First thing is I wanted to look for a set of drag radials. I think I decided that I want to go with the same rims that I have, which are factory reproductions, Hellcat style rims in 10.5 in the rear. So I want to go with that same rim with just a different tire, a drag radial. And I'm not sure which drag rail to get. I know the Mickey Thompsons are good, the Nittos are good, and the BF Goodrich used to be good. I don't know if they still are, so in the comments, please let me know what you think of that setup. Are getting the stock tires good, or should I go with something lighter? The main reason for that, for having an identical set of rims, is so I could actually run the same look. So it'll look the same, and it'll just have a drag radial or the standard all season. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. If not, give me some other suggestions, but I'm open to whatever. But I do realize from trying to actually launch the car that I need drag radials. There's just no way that the car is going to perform whatsoever without drag radials. It's just, there's like no traction below 50. So I just want to give a quick look at the house here. And as you guys know, my house flooded during Hurricane Harvey. We're just now getting everything kind of situated. So I just wanted to show everybody around a tiny bit and kind of show what the setup is. This is where I edit. There's my little laptop. It's an Acer laptop. I paid $1,000 for it at Costco, and I just upgraded the hard drive and stuff. So it's all good. I'm an IT guy, by the way, so this is all that kind of stuff is pretty second nature to me. And of course here, the yellow oranges color is actually a film. You can see it there. So this is where my security system is, my cameras at least. From here I can, I can see it from the bed as well. And I can kind of like just monitor outside while I'm in bed. And the point of the film is so it blocks out all the blue light, so at night it's not blinding or it doesn't keep you up like there's a TV or anything. It works, and it allows me to have it on 24/7 and kind of monitor everything. And I do live in a nice neighborhood. I'm just a little bit paranoid, I guess. I just like having security. And I did just get this bed set from America Furniture Warehouse. So glad I got that. And we're still kind of living out of the bedrooms because the living room's not done yet. So I'll show you guys that in a moment. Here's my puppy here. Anna. Hi, girl. And she is a English Mastiff, and she's about a year old. She's a big girl. And here in the living room, they just finished the tile. It's really echoey in here. As you can see, got tile everywhere. They're gonna be doing the drywall next week, and even in the kitchen, all tile. Bunch of stuff on the counter because we can't put stuff in the cabinet, so it's kind of a mess. But that's pretty much it. And for security, I also have a screen in here. Shows the same thing, and this is also on 24 hours a day, and that way if there's anything going on, I can see it, like there's some people outside. And I can just kind of keep an eye on everything. Again, it's just probably just a little bit paranoid, but I like having them. I have a bunch of different cameras, but that's just the one I'm gonna show, since everybody's seen it already. And you see my charger sitting there looking cool, I guess. So that's it for that. And then here in the garage, it is not nearly as bad as it was since they took out all the tile. I have not been able to find my locking lug nut thing. I have no idea where it went. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm an idiot, I guess. I just lost it. I was hoping it would come up when they took out all the tile, like maybe it got flung under something, but that's definitely not the case. It seems to be gone. As soon as the living room's done with drywall and everything, and texturing and painting, I'll be able to move all this crap out of my garage. Well, some of it needs to go in the house. And just kind of clean up the whole thing once there's like spots to put things. And these are my factory tires. Okay, I kept my instruction manual for the WRX. Probably should have kept it with the car, but screw it, I wanted to keep that. And here's the factory tires for the car. As you can see, 245s. I planned on selling these, I haven't yet. That was another thing I was kind of thinking of. Could I just put some drag radials on these? I think the rim's pretty narrow. I think it's like a 7.5 or an 8. So I probably couldn't go with as wide of a tire. But I have these, you know, until I sell them on, unless I sell them. So just kind of an idea. And that brings us to this bad boy. So as soon as I get the lug nuts, the key for the lug nuts, I'll be able to replace these out with the cool black ones, which I'm really happy with. They look awesome at night. I just got to get the other side done. Let me give you guys a cold start here. And I wanted to point out one thing that I noticed. Got loud. One thing that I noticed from the Supercharger noise is when the car is idling, it makes the noise. It doesn't really make it outside of idling. I know a few people mentioned that the car idles a little bit lower than it should, and that I'm thinking is contributing to the sound. Because if you see here, it's on the warm-up cycle. Get your view here. So it's at, you know, above 1,000. Let's try to get out there before it drops down. So you notice that there, it didn't sound very bad. It just sounds like a supercharger should sound. No, you know, excessive gear grinding and like someone mentioned a fork in a garbage disposal. That's a very good description. I think that describes it the best. Just a clingy, very erratic, nasty sound. And you'll hear it again in a second when the car, when the idle goes down. Okay, so there you see it, the idle's nice and low now. It's at, what would you call that? About 700 maybe? It's kind of bobbing around a little bit, but I'd call it a, you know, maybe, I'd just call it about 700. So let's see what it sounds like now. So as you saw there, it's far more of a gear grinding sound. It'll actually get even worse when it warms up. I think it's just part of the idle being really low. I don't know if I want to increase the idle because I feel like I might have like heating and drivability issues. Like I live in Houston, so driving in heavy traffic is quite common where, you know, I might sit in traffic for a half an hour, 45 minutes in the blazing heat, 100 degrees plus with the AC on, and I need the car to be able to survive that. So, you know, we're gonna see if we need to upgrade anything in the cooling system to make sure it can maintain, you know, engine temperatures and everything with the intercooler blocking the radiator and just additional heat brought by the supercharger as well. So should be interesting to see in the upcoming months. But so far the car is running like great. Like it's fast. I haven't had any real problems with it other than what you guys saw in the previous videos. It starts up every time. I haven't had any of those startup sputters or anything like that. No limp mode, nothing like that. So it's been great. So I know a few people mentioned they were discouraged from getting a supercharger because of my experiences, or at least the ProCharger. But I don't think, I mean, I'm happy with it. I don't know if, you know, the advantages of the Whipple, such as being quieter and things like that, are really worth the drivability issues that you have with a Whipple, like where it just has so much low end where, you know, you touch the gas a little bit too hard and it blows the tire off. As you know, I'm on a street tire most of the time and all season at that. So if I had like a Whipple or Roots, like, you know, a screw type, if I barely touch the gas, it would spin these tires really easily. So with this ProCharger, it allows me to just keep the RPMs low and it makes zero boost and all is great. But once it gets over like 2.5, 3 grand, then the boost starts kicking in, then it really flies. But as you know, for anyone that owns a 392, the car has a ton of low end, and driving it around at low RPMs, like under normal driving, you'll never really get above, you know, 2.5, 3,000 unless you're really accelerating. But other than that, the engine has plenty of power to just drive as normal at the low RPMs. So you don't need to wind it up for any reason. So that kind of enables me to only use the blower when I need the blower and not when I don't. I think that's pretty good. And one thing I just noticed, the car is warmed up a tiny bit more. So let's see how it's changed, because I know it has. So you see, that sounds even worse than it did at, you know, idling at 700. This was about 600, maybe give or take. You guys will see it in the video. You can choose what the RPM was. It makes more noise at the low RPMs, and I think that's just, you're hearing more of the gears grinding together because it's spinning so slowly. And when it's just spinning a little bit quicker, you don't hear that noise anymore. So, you know, I think one solution, if I don't like the sound that much, would be to increase the idle. But, you know, like I mentioned, the concerns that I have with that. So you guys tell me what you think with that. Should I increase the idle and just have them bump it up a couple hundred RPM so the noise goes down? I don't want to say the noise doesn't bother me, because it does. It just is a kind of an irritating sound, and it, you know, part of the reason you get a supercharger is just so it sounds cool. You know, you pull up at the car meet or whatever, and you got, you know, a blower under the hood and everybody can hear it, and that's cool. I mean, besides being fast, that's one of the advantages of it. You know, that's why you get anything. Because obviously having an additional 200 horsepower to the wheels didn't help my car as far as you know, getting to work. Like, so it's all about just the cool and being fast. And when you, sounds like you have a fork in a garbage disposal under your hood, it takes away from it a little bit. You know, not enough for me to like really regret the decision or anything. But one thing I would have done differently for sure is get the helical gear set. So if you're considering getting a Procharger, just pay for the helical gear set. I don't know how much it drops the sound, but anything better than this is got to be an improvement. And the other ones I've heard sound a lot better than mine with the helical gear set. So I think that's definitely a plus. I would always get that. Maybe it was a little dumb of me, but when what I thought the helical gear set really changed was the whine of the Supercharger. I thought it made that quieter. I didn't realize it was gear sound that you were cutting down in. And it's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it, but that's just what I thought at the time. So, you know, take that for what it is. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys is this guy here. So I did get the, they did put it back on. I didn't think it would fit there because of where the intake was, but it was there before. And they just took it off to get the fuel pressure reading and the coil pack reading on the dyno, and they just forgot to put it back on. So no big deal there, but it's I'm sure glad that it's back on here because it looks a lot better. Pretty happy with that. You see all the junk out there, doors, pallets for the tile, door framing, door jamb, all kinds of junk. And the city's supposed to come here to take that soon, so we'll hope that happens. Just wanted to make a quick video. Probably going to be kind of boring, but main reason is I want to get some suggestions on the drag radials because I want to get those ordered soon because I plan to try to race at TX2K and or Royal Purple really soon when it opens at the end of the month. I'd actually like to run it on both tires, so I'm probably going to bring it on these tires and then put drag radials on when I get there. I'd like to have them in the next few weeks if at all possible. So I got to figure out what I want, and right now I don't know. So that's it for now, everybody. Just wanted to try to get some suggestions on the drag radials. Please, if you have any information to give me, put it down in the comments. As you know, I read all the comments and I respond to the vast majority of them. And I'll do that as long as I can. So I definitely take input from people and I implement it. So I really appreciate any input anyone can give me because I actually do act on it. Like I brought the car back yesterday because everybody said that was a good idea when I wasn't really so sure myself, but you know, I'm open to suggestions. I know I'm not the end all of knowledge, so peace everybody.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated, black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.